How's it going everyone, Rosalind here. Today I'm going to be going over how to make the best persona in Persona 5 Tactica. Though technically speaking you can make two copies of this persona, that being two persona with the exact same skills, with the only difference between the two being a small difference in stats. As a bonus, I will also be showing how to build my favorite option for a third persona, since unless you're using Arena, you do need three, as well as a Satanael build since I know someone will ask for it. So for the two best persona, we are going to be making a Yoshitsune with Eagle Eyes and a Manah with Godlike Speed. Due to how Persona Fusion works in Persona 5 Tactica, these are the only two persona capable of having this skill setup, since you can't change a persona's unique skill, only their inherited one. And that is precisely what makes these two the best two persona in the game. Yoshitsune provides Godlike Speed, which stacks with the same skill found in your character's skill trees to improve the equipped character's movement by 1 square, and Manah provides Eagle Eyes, which increases ranged attack by 2 squares and stacks with Hawkeye, both from the Persona skill version and the one found in your skill trees. The main difference between Yoshitsune and Manah are their base stats, with Yoshitsune having slightly higher HP, MP, and melee damage, giving it a slight edge, though in practice the difference is negligible. Moving on to the persona I recommend for your third character, I like to use Sraosha. Both Yoshitsune and Manah suit the two characters that you want spreading out across the map to set up a big all-out attack, but someone will inevitably need to stay further behind to act as the pivot, and for this role I like Sraosha. Sraosha has a few things going for it. First, it is tied for the highest gun damage in the game, making it good for picking off any stragglers who didn't fall to your all-out attacks. And second, it learns Media Rahan. Since your other two characters will be going off on their own, there is a chance they may take some damage, and should your all-out attack healing not be enough, Sraosha provides you with the option to toss out an emergency heal with Media Rahan since AoE heals don't care about range. I then like to put Eagle Eyes on Sraosha as my second skill, since the character using this will again be staying back as the pivot, and thus the extra range will generally be more useful. Alright, let's move on to how to fuse these three, and then I'll cover Satanael at the end. Alright, so the actual fusion process isn't going to be that long, it's not really all that complicated, but since we are going to go ahead and make 3 persona in a row, we're going to want to prepare a few in advance, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. And for starters, we're going to need a Futsunushi, Manah, Gabrielle, Vasuki, Melchizedek, Okuninushi, Mithras, Arahabaki, Mitra, Shikioji, Yaksini, and Eligor. You don't necessarily have to have them all right now, but these are all the ones we're going to need for these 3 persona that we're making. So for the first step, we're going to be doing Manah, and we're going to be fusing this with Eligor to make a Yatagarasu. And then here, we're going to be passing down Eagle Eyes. Alright, now that we have this, we need to go over to a different section here. We're going to go to the Special Fusion, we're going to go to Yoshitsune, and we should have everything we need now. And we're going to go ahead and fuse our first one, Yoshitsune. Here, we'll be passing down Eagle Eyes. And there we have it. At this point, if you haven't registered this persona, I already have, but if you haven't, you'd want to go ahead and register this exact Yoshitsune, because we're going to be using him in our next fusion. So we're going to come back over here to the fusion section. We're going to choose Yoshitsune, and we're going to fuse it with Vasuki to make our second best persona, Manah. And here we'll be passing down Godlike Speed. And there you have it. As with the Yoshitsune, you're going to want to go ahead and register this. That way you have this one, so you can pull this one and Yoshitsune back out later. But we're going to go ahead and use this to make our Sraosha. So we're going to first take the Manah, and we're going to fuse it with Yaksini to make a Lilith. And here we're going to be passing down Eagle Eyes. If you would rather have Godlike Speed, you could do that, but I like Eagle Eyes for this. So I'm going to pass that down. Alright. And now we're going to head back over to the Special Fusion. We're going to go down to Sraosha, and we should have everything we already need. And we're going to go ahead and fuse this, and we are going to pass down Eagle Eyes. Alright, and that covers the 2 best persona in Yoshitsune and Manah, as well as my favorite to use for the pivot character in Sraosha. Alright, so now for that Satanael build. Satanael is in a weird position in Persona 5 Tactica. He learns Auto Riser as his unique skill, which casts Heat Riser on the user at the beginning of battle, and he has the highest stats in the game. However, his damage stats are heavily skewed towards melee damage with a 100 in melee and only 44 in gun damage. What this means is that for the first 3 turns of battle, he is technically better than both Yoshitsune and Manah, but after that he does fall off. To help with this, we can take Sustaining Relief, which will extend his Heat Riser window to 5 turns with one exception, and it's a pretty big one. Should you run a Sustaining Relief Satanael in a team with Yusuke, the Tsukukaja portion of Heat Riser will be overwritten by Yusuke's Auto Masuku, meaning that the Satanael user won't get the 5-turn movement increase. Assuming you're okay with those caveats, let me show you how to make a Satanael with Sustaining Relief. Alright, another simple fusion, but we do need a few persona ahead of time, so let's take a look at those. You're going to want to prepare Lucifer, Satan, Michael, Ishtar, Ananta, and Archangel. Alright, and so with that, we're going to start with step 1 will be to fuse Ananta with Archangel in order to make an Anzu. And then we're going to be passing down Sustaining Relief here. Okay, and with that, we can actually go and make the Satanael already. So you want to come over to Special Fusion, go down to Satanael, and pass down Sustaining Relief. And there you have it, a Satanael that has Sustaining Relief to boost his Heat Riser to 5 turns. And that'll do it for this video on the best persona in Persona 5 Tactica. If you found this video helpful and informative, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you have any questions about this video, Persona 5 Tactica, or any other game that I cover, feel free to hit me up over on Twitch at twitch.tv/RoslinGaming or my Discord server, both of which are linked in the video description below. Until next time, take care.